Welcome back. This is technically episode 6.
Six.
Welcome to episode 6. We have a very special treat for you today. It's actually technically our first guest in recording order. But joining us today on Back of the Bus is ex-VFL recording artist, songwriter, wow
Legend.
aficionado,
Wow, legend.
Yeah.
Thomas Edwards. Everyone give it up for Thomas Edwards.
Let's go, Thomas. Hey, you did say something though. I'm not an ex-VFL man. I'm a Vol for life.
Yeah, honestly, saying that felt weird. Thomas did play for the University of Tennessee, but he is correct. He is once a VFL, always a VFL, except for maybe Matt Malone, our intern.
Yeah,
Facts.
he's a hater.
We're not gonna take too much time on him.
We've already said his name way too
He's
fast.
a VFN
Yeah.
Vol for now.
Yeah.
He went to
VFL.
Tennessee, spent most of his weekends in Tuscaloosa.
Oh.
Yeah, which it's fun to go down to T-Town, but not every weekend. You got to hold it down in Knoxville. But yeah, this is a super special episode because me and Garrett are very, very close with Thomas. He's one of our greatest friends. He is a very talented songwriter and musician. He is going to blow up, and if he's not already on that path, it's really cool to have you here, Thomas.
Oh, man.
We would love for you to maybe give the viewers who don't know who you are a little background. Maybe start from like day one, first breath, first memory, and then just kind of go from there.
So my parents were hanging out in the summer of 1994, and they felt an immense passionate love fall across them, and then they banged, and I came out in 1995 in March. But then, so the most recent parts of my life that are noteworthy. Expand on that. Expand on that. No, I played football at Tennessee. My NFL dreams got smashed because I got a shoulder surgery my senior year. And it wasn't just my shoulder surgery that smashed my NFL dreams. I also didn't play a lot. But the shoulder thing was just icing on the cake. I grew up playing a lot of music. My family is a big music family. All the way to my great-grandpa. He played banjo for June Carter back in the day when she was in the Carter Sisters. And my mom and dad, aunt and uncle, grandpa, grandma, cousins, they all play music. And so it's always been a part of my life. And then I went to play football because I was a big burly man, and I was like, I got to do something about this. Played football for a little bit, and then got a sorry, I love a camera.
Doing socials.
Yeah, love a moment on the camera. Love a moment on the camera, man. So then I got played football for a little bit, and my life kind of switched when, even though I didn't play a lot, you still had to practice the same amount. So when you get hurt in football, you go from 100 miles an hour to 0. And during that, I kind of just was like, what the heck am I doing? I need to figure out something to do with my time. So I picked up a guitar, and I wrote my first song when I was in college. And then I had this kind of unrealistic life at Tennessee, and I was grateful that I kind of realized that early. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to move to the middle of nowhere and just go live in the real world. Because the funny thing about like Tennessee, you play there, and then like me, a guy who was a non-contributor, I go to the mall and like people know who I am when I'm at the food court,
That's sick.
and that's just like not a real depiction of life. And I knew that, and I'm grateful that I had that awareness. So I just moved to the middle of nowhere. I moved to Franklin, Kentucky, which is like an hour and 15 minutes north of here in Nashville.
Shout out Mint Gambling Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right. They
The
came up and
slots.
visited me. They came
The
up and visited me, man.
baby.
Yeah, I just lived across the street from this warehouse I worked at for 3 years, and then about 2 years into that, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Worked another year, saved up money, and then quit and started doing music.
Not to cut you off, Thomas acts like it was some like
Yeah,
little low.
he just
It was
brushed-
Tractor Supply. He was the youngest manager
warehouse.
in history there, and he was running a floor of how many people?
Yeah, it was a 1 million square foot warehouse, 600 employees. I was the production manager, so I was like, my job
rushed
was
over it.
Saved up some money.
My job was a fun job, man. It was every day. On Monday I would get on a call with a bunch of executives at Tractor Supply and convince them without lying that the building wasn't on fire and we weren't behind on everything. And it was a great life lesson though. It taught me how to like strategically lie to corporate people, which is a great it's a great skill to have.
Especially in the music.
That's
go-to
not
phrase.
going to help us get a sponsorship from
Don't
Tractor
do that.
Supply.
No, yeah, I just got a sponsorship from Tractor Supply.
Let's go.
Actually,
We do the work, or whatever their slogan is.
We're in the process of it, man. So I don't even know what that even means, but it's pretty cool, man. They're really passionate. They're headquartered out of Nashville and have a big presence with music and love music. And I grew up going there with a farm in East Tennessee, and then worked there, and then now I play music. So it's just Kind of was a softball toss. You know how that came to be, though? I just cold emailed the CEO of Tractor Supply.
Y'all need a manager.
Classic.
And I'm here.
Yeah, I was just like, hey, you guys want to sponsor me? I used to work there. And they're like, yeah, talk to the... And he just emailed me back.
Oh, God damn.
You know, it just worked.
That's genius.
Yeah, dude.
Were you all in charge of, I'm guessing since it was a warehouse, were you in charge of like the shipping and receiving side to stores or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a distribution center. So we save your Mars pet food. You send if that bag goes from the Mars pet food plant to this distribution center to the store.
Mm.
Yeah, it's literally so not glamorous. I worked the whole time during COVID. They never closed. You know,
Essential worker.
It was essential, dude. My job became like air traffic controlling CDC regulations that changed every day to 500 employees that live in South Central Kentucky that do not give a shit about any of them.
Yeah.
So like it was crazy. It was fun. I love chaos, man, and it was just chaos all the time. It was like, you guys, you can take your masks off outside now, but as soon as you step in the building, you got to have them on. And then like 3 days later, it's like, we got to have masks on outside now. And then it was just crazy, man. And I was the guy that had to like take this information and like train our managers on like how to disseminate it between people, and crazy. It was just nuts. That was like a thing I did in my life, and it seems so far away, but it really was like 4 years ago. Wasn't that long ago.
So I feel like most people in here can relate, if not everyone. Like, not all of us played football. Mitch played football in college,
Shout out D3.
Susquehanna. But for most of us, it's like I feel like we started in a like kind of non-glorious atmosphere, whether it was like for me selling windows or like just like whatever mundane job that you did before you maybe took a chance on being creative. So like we might not understand the whole like football dilemma and like being recognized, you know, West Town Mall to being here in Tractor Supply, but I feel like we all can take a piece of like, you do really have to take a shot. Like I don't want to turn this into some like, is someone dying down there? Hey, shut up!
Is everybody okay?
Y'all good?
I said it in the mic like they had speakers.
Yeah, that did sound
The PA
panic in
But
there.
I don't want this to turn into some like motivational speech podcast, but I do think it's important for any like aspiring creatives out there to know like it doesn't just happen. Like you're not gonna just wake up and be in like some dream opportunity where like everything's cool and kosher. Like even today when we work in this atmosphere where it's amazing, there's still very much stressful days and like chaotic opportunities all the time. But you know, it's important, I feel like, to figure out like what you don't like doing before you figure out like what you do like doing. So I feel like everyone can kind of take a little piece of what you're saying. Like once you figure out that like, yeah, the warehouse is not for me, and you take a risk creatively, like that's what ultimately pays off. And we've had millions of conversations in kitchens late night talking about this exact idea. But will you kind of like walk us through like your process on starting your music endeavors and like where that kind of stemmed from outside of you being already musically inclined?
Yeah, dude. Well, I think in the tune of that creative thing, man, like it's you know, someone told me when I first was working, it was like, you can't take advice from average people if you want to do something different. So as soon as I kind of learned that and realized like, if people don't understand what I want to do, it's just on them. It's not the fact that I'm crazy. If you want to do something, you can just do it. You just figure out how to do it, you know? And that's kind of the approach that took the whole time. And I used to be a guy that was like, I don't want to ask him because he's going to say no. And now it's just like, I don't even care. Like, it's like back to that email thing. It's just, you know, and I learned that like, you know, getting into music, I had this wall up that like I cared too much that someone else cared about what I was doing. And then what the most liberating thing that kind of accelerated everything in my world was when I just let go of that. And the biggest thing, you know, the kind of the first domino that fell for me to kind of, you know, wave my arms in Nashville and say, hey, look at me, I'm making music. It was when I did that Tennessee song. And it's a song that's so deliberately about my life. And so when I was writing, I was like, this is lame as hell. Like, who the hell, like, who's going to, like, what is this even? But my manager, Rusty, me and him wrote it together. He's from East Tennessee, and he's not a music manager. We just kind of partnered up and rubbed some sticks together and made some shit happen. But but yeah, he was like, that's exactly what people want to hear. And then that song came out, and then the school wrapped their arm around it. They played it at the, you know, on the Jumbotron and stuff. And then they came to town here to open the season one year against Virginia. And that first day, the game of the season, they played it in Nissan, and that was kind of my entry into this music business world. It was just like, you had these music executives that, they have control and know what's going on in the country music space, and all of a sudden there's this huge Sasquatch looking dude on the Jumbotron singing a song that they hadn't heard, and that was kind of what got the ball rolling. But that was all the external stuff. I think I quit my job in October 2021, and last year in 2024 in March I signed a publishing deal, which is the first revenue stream that I got from music. So thank you. Thank you. I like to thank the Academy. No, but like the funny thing is like every time that I thought I was going to get to the point where I was like, that made it. You just you're as a creative, your brain just kind of restructures towards another mountain that's far away. And I learned that through that process, you have to be comfortable and excited for doing what you're doing every day. Like the marathon's 26 miles and the finish line is 1 foot. You have to like the
quote graphic.
Yeah, man.
Quote graphic.
That's how make it to
Say that one more time.
Say that one more time.
A marathon is 26 miles, and runners are crazy, and they don't like the finish line. They like the way they feel when they're in mile 19. And so just you just got to know that the process is more important, especially for a creative. And it's so hard not to fall, especially in this forward-facing business that we're all in this, where your work is put on a pedestal immediately, and there's no time for editing and reactions. It's just like more stuff out there that promotes what we got to do. And the way that I keep sanity is that we make paper airplanes as creatives, and we close our eyes on top of a mountain and we chuck them. And the best creatives, as soon as they chuck them, they just look right back down to start making them more paper airplanes. Where they land have nothing to do with who you are as a creative. There's wind, there's rain, there's walls, there's people, there's all these things that happen after they're out of your hand.
Amen.
Yeah, let's go, man. It's all right. You get me going, man. But I just kind of
preaching right now.
I know, man. Shit. Sorry, I get excited. But I realized that no one was going to tell that shit to me, and I had to tell it to myself. And I just started working on my body of work. And the other day I kind of counted all my songs in since I'd been writing, and I'd written 212 songs in 2 years. And
212 paper airplanes.
Yeah, that's right, man. Guess how many of them are good? Maybe 20. Maybe 30, maybe, I don't even know. What's good even mean at this? Once you start doing that so much, it's like your brain opens up. Cause as a music consumer, everyone has this, is this good? Is this bad? And that's where you start at. Then you realize, oh, this could be good for someone else. I get it, and then it kind of expands on that. And through that, I figured out the kind of music that I like to make. And it's only just through throwing 212 paper airplanes that you realize, you figure out that I just like making paper airplanes. It's up to the people if they want to see where they land.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
What are we 10 minutes in? We got 3 bars.
Yeah, my bad, y'all.
No, bro.
That's
Keep
gospel.
spitting. Keep spitting.
It's so cool to see your ascension and stuff already, even though you've just started. And we Jack and G introduced us to you just as it started, when you were first started. I remember going to your when you played at Acme.
Yeah.
And that was this is so sick. I know that guy, and he's out here performing in front of however many people there were there.
Yeah,
this is awesome.
That was they fire marshaled that night at that Acme thing because
was that the Virginia Tech game?
Yeah, it was that same game.
I plugged in an old hard drive at home recently looking for something and came across pictures from that.
It's crazy, man.
That's wild that we're talking about that.
Yeah,
night.
And I think the craziest thing with my music career is I have been incredibly, and it's probably to my own defeat at sometimes. My progress is kind of unless you're my friend and I talk about it to you, it's you wouldn't really if you went to my Instagram right now, you wouldn't really know all the things that were going on, And I've kind of, at first it was I think I was I got to do something about this, but I don't know. I think as I kind of got more into this, I realized I'm loving what I'm doing right now, and I'm making progress in this business world. That's just a piece of the pie. When, and I have songs coming out starting next month, so that the world changed there. I'm going to be inundating you with my stuff on the internet soon. But it's kind of been a soul searching thing because I don't have these. There's not an Instagram grid milestone thing that you typically see from the you know, from an artist. And I just learned that helped me so much to know that like, that's not what matters. You know, I know that I started writing songs. I know that I got a publishing deal, and then I know I got a record deal. And I know there's people that believe in me and are just straight up gambling on me with zero data analytic backing. Just like, hey, this guy's got a good story to tell and he can make music. And that's what gets me up every day. And not the fact that it's like, did this do well? Does this thing do well? And it's so easy to get caught up in that, in a creative forward facing job like we all have.
I think to build off of that and to give you some credit, on top of you being incredibly talented, when you walk in a room, you're immediately friends with everybody in there.
For sure.
And that is something that I've always thought about you, is you have such a leg up in that aspect. Is, I hate using the word like you're sellable, but
Yeah.
you
It's
get in
right,
a room
it's what
with
it
the
is.
right people, then it's like you know how to just be yourself and then let the music put that cherry on top where they're like, oh shit, like this guy's not only a good guy, honest, truth to himself, funny, but he can fucking ball.
Yeah, dude, that's kind of my whole thing, man. I just want people to feel good in the way that, and with no, because that's what makes me feel good. And the medium in which that happens is up to them. Like if I can talk to them and say, hey, you know, make them feel good in 5 seconds in a room, or if they can just go home and listen to a song that makes them feel good. Like that, I just always say I like to sing with a smile, man. Like very seldomly am I singing this dejected, sad, you know, like my sad songs are like, man, I got my heart broke, but at least I learned something, you know. So like it's like there's always this redemption at the end of it, because that's how I am as a person, man. I was very grateful to have parents that, you know, were just like, you can do whatever you want all the time. And I mean, my older brother is a criminal defense litigator in Philadelphia. My little brother's about to be a park ranger. So like, we are doing the things that they said, and it's just, and I attribute them. That's how my mom is. She doesn't know a stranger, man. She'll talk to the person. She's the reason why I don't use self-checkout at grocery stores. She's like, if you talk, yeah, she's like, if you talk to them for 5 seconds, you don't understand how much it's going to do for you. And I was just, you know, when you're like a rebellious kid, you're like, shut up, mom. You know?
Put the
So
fries
true,
in the
though.
Yeah,
bag.
come on, put the give me fuck. Check the. I'm getting this NOS energy drink, Mom. You know, but she's so right. You know, meaningless interactions are not meaningless. You know, we dub them as that because the pace of life goes too fast. And I think that my job on Earth is to let people know that and remind them of that with me being around them, or just playing stupid little fun songs. You know, it's. I've won the lottery because I figured that out, and I think that's the one thing that I will tell everyone is like, just spend time trying to figure it out, whatever it is for you. At least you can do is just try, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Going back to like you talking about your Instagram feed and all that kind of stuff, there's not really milestones, but there have been some Easter eggs recently that you've been putting out that are awesome to see. And from my understanding, they're mostly covers.
Yeah.
But they're shot really well.
Yeah, man.
And it's just you and a microphone.
Yeah.
And that is my favorite Thomas Edwards, because I feel like that's the Thomas Edwards I knew first.
Mm-hmm.
Have those been, obviously they're a lot of fun to do, but when you're posting that stuff, are you kind of like putting teasers out of like the vibe you're going for, or is this just something for you personally?
Yeah, I just oh, that's a great question, because this the first song that I'm dropping is it's a very fun drinking song, and it's I'm talking half the time in the song. You know, for my sanity, you know, after I'm coming out of the gates in this major record label deal with this song where I'm talking half the time.
The Sam Hunt route.
Yeah. Well, the lady that signed me at Warner signed Sam Hunt at Universal.
I love Sam Hunt.
Yeah, she also signed Casey Musgraves,
Love
who are
Casey
also just the
Musgraves.
kind of the her ideology of artists are kind of in my wheelhouse, where it's just like we're country by nature, but not by the business denomination of country music. And I think that's, in this world, we're inundated with the same things in country music all the time. It's just like people ride the wave. And here's another analogy, man. It's you know, in this town, you can be a cruise ship or you can be a little dinghy boat. You know, there's a cruise ships go out in the ocean. They're massive and they break through the waves. And the result of that is behind them, there's a clear path for many, many people. And smaller boats can last in the waters behind a big yacht or a big, huge cruise ship. It takes a long time to build a yacht at the port. It takes a long time to build a cruise ship. And sometimes when you're building it, you're like, man, I just want to get out in the water. Like, look at all these people. They're out there in the water 10 miles out. But if that big cruise ship that they're behind goes to port ever, then they don't even know what the open waters feel like. And that's everything that you're doing in life. I mean, it's not even just music. It's like you have to realize that everybody has their cruise ship to build. And once you spend time doing that and it's ready to go out to the ocean, then you'll be successful in whatever it is. It's the 10,000 hour thing, and
So first big purchase, yacht.
yeah, dude, first big purchase, 365-day cruise on Royal Caribbean.
I'll be behind you.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, sorry for making it so like inspirational, man. I'm also not really a serious guy, but like when I get a mic in my hand, I feel like I have something to say to people, man.
That's what it's for.
Yeah,
that's what it's for. This podcast is our dinghy boat.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Hey, Sherman just whispered to me, "Can I ask him something?" So I think he wants to ask a question.
Yeah, cut me off at any time because I'll just run my mouth.
No, you're not running your mouth at all. You're the guest.
Oh, man.
Jerkin socks.
Jerkin socks. When you first came in, you were talking a little bit about this, but with the New Deal, did you feel like your paper airplanes were made with notebook paper, and now you have construction paper, and like how does that now
It's rubbing off.
change the energy, I guess, of like your creative process?
Yeah, man. What I say all the time is, I was creative broke for a long time. That's when you figure out if you're really creative. It's like if you make it's like that Toy Story 4 when they make that Forky or whatever that thing is.
Hey, God, what a legend.
Yeah, dude.
He got his own spin-off series.
Yeah, he goes, "Am I trash?" There's so many great existential moments of that. But I think that now it's just what it is just exactly what you're saying. It just excites me even more that I can go into the Warner Studios and just say, "Hey, I want to do some covers." I just went in there for 2 hours one day and had 2 videographers in there. That was their passion. I mean, I was talking to the guy that was the videographer and wasted 30 minutes of not waste, but this is just who I am. But like, he's like, "I used to be a wildlife photographer." And I was like, "Dude, you ever seen Secret Life of Walter Mitty?" And he was like, "Dude, it's so good." And then we just talked about that forever because it's so good. But to your question, yes, it just inspires me more. At first I sought the validation. I thought the validation was going to make the paper better. But really it was just the tools and the abilities that it could further my ability to be creative that got me excited. The fact that there's a little nice studio that has a wonderful mic that I can just go in there, and I literally I just had a guitar and a piano, and I was just like running through songs that I could play, and it was just fun, and then I get to just leave that, and then a week later get a Google Drive link. Like, I'm so grateful for that. After years of propping my phone up and it's filming grainy, you know how it is, man. It's just inspiring now. It lights another fire in you, and to make more music, and it's been awesome, man. Sick. It's fun.
That's great.
You're deserving of it. It's cool to see, dude.
I appreciate it, man. I don't deserve nothing, man. I'm just here for a good time, make people feel good, man. I think that's what keeps me afloat, man. That's what keeps keeps the ship on the water. Yeah.
Let's go. Changing gears a little bit, you bring up Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Obviously, incredible film. And one of my favorite lines of that whole movie is at the end when they're up in like the Pakistani mountains or something. He goes, "Are you going to take the photo?" And he goes, "Sometimes I don't. Beautiful things don't ask for attention." And that just kind of fires me up. But I know this. Garrett knows this. We're big movie guys here.
Oh, yeah.
And this is my least favorite question of all time. But what's your favorite movie?
Ooh, Jack knows this well. I am the biggest movie critic. I think we lack critics in art now because everyone has a voice and everyone needs to shut up most of the time.
Microphones are too cheap.
Yeah, it's right, man. And
We're just bars all episode.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Like, in the 90s, you could live in fucking Manhattan and just be a snobby movie critic and have a nice little apartment, and that'd be your job. But the internet came along, and now we devalue those opinions. Well, and I think that's just my soapbox about that. My favorite movie is Soul, the Pixar movie.
Dude.
It's just pound for pound, man. It's the
Quiet
Trent
Coyote.
Reznor does the soundtrack.
Quiet Coyote.
Yeah, Quiet Coyote.
I have not.
Jared,
I
have you
haven't
seen that movie?
either.
It's okay.
If you haven't
great,
seen that
man.
movie,
Jared shook his head no.
if you're looking for something, go watch Soul.
Yeah, dude, it's one of those that's, and my second one's probably out of that wheelhouse is Parasite.
I still need to watch
Is that
the movie in Korean?
Yeah, that movie is.
I know. It won so many awards.
That
It's
movie
so
is
good, dude.
wild.
The
Soul?
script is great.
I don't even feel like I'm reading subtitles in it though. It's shot so well.
Yeah.
Like there's so much good. Like the coolest thing about that movie Parasite is every part that there's a person that has an economic status higher than another person, they're physically higher than the other person is in the shot in the movie every time.
Didn't
you're
even
in
notice
it.
that. Didn't
Yeah,
even
dude.
notice that.
Dude, sorry. Back to Soul. I
so good.
love Soul.
So good.
But I think they left so much meat on the bone.
I mean, what do you mean?
Like it was just the climax of the movie.
That's the whole point.
Didn't feel as hot. I know, but like there wasn't like what was your favorite bar from the movie that you're like
There wasn't a bar. It was the moment of
The story about the fish.
That's a great one. Yeah. The big fish swims up to a little fish and says, "I'm looking for the ocean." And he goes,
That
"The
is- that's
ocean."
my favorite one.
He said, "This is water."
But
Yeah, you know.
I feel like in Kung Fu Panda,
Well, I think that's kind of the moral of the whole movie. Like there isn't this. That movie, Soul, is incredibly existentialist. It's about how existing isn't this pomp and circumstance, huge fanfare, like at the end of Star Wars when the Ewoks celebrate. You know, like that. Like that doesn't exist. You know, and I think that's the whole point of like the spark isn't a thing that you get in Soul. It's just being aware of the life that you're living, and that he goes through the end scene of Soul when he places all the objects on the piano and plays that outro piano music, and then it just zooms out from the piano to the New York City skyscape to America to the earth. You know, like it's just it wasn't even the line. That wasn't a line that did it. It was that moment of just kind of like that movie 50 times just go, this is a movie for kids? Like
Yeah,
what? You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like this is a huge
I would love to watch it through kids' eyes.
Yeah, that's a great thing about
Cody.
it's like my teacher says that. You know? And that line before is like we are the collective energy of all that exists.
Yeah.
Quiet Cody. You know, it's great, man.
Have you seen Mickey 17?
No.
It's the director that did Parasite. It just came out, but it's an English film.
So Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson.
Ah.
It was really, really good, and
I'll watch it.
It's got some deep tropes to it. You would like.
Oh yeah, dude. I love one and that's why I bring back that critic thing. Critics in a movie critic world that's like healthy, critics would help the average watcher or listener understand that after the first watch. Instead of asking someone say, well, you got to go watch it 3 times. Like that's what an irresponsible ask. The time's valuable, you know.
100%. 100%.
If someone says you got to go see a movie and they say I saw that and I didn't get it, and the response is you got to go watch it again, like
Tom's
either
pissed.
You failed your job. You failed at your
either
job.
the movie guy failed or you're too dumb to watch this movie.
Right.
You know, like it's just you can go watch one of the Marvel movies.
So to kind of
Chill with the Marvel movies. You don't like the Marvel movies?
Hell no, dude.
To play like devil's advocate, what about like Inception and like Interstellar and like those movies that are like they're not in the same vein as like Soul and stuff like that, but those movies you have to watch a couple times to know what's going on.
Well, I mean, I think you do. See,
I'm not even.
I don't think you
Marvel.
do need to. Dude, Marvel movies are. Why are they casting Robert Downey Jr. in the same universe for a different?
I'm
character?
with you on that, but I mean,
they
just
New
keep doing-
MCU is had a fall off, but there is a
Avengers,
level of
bro, and,
respect
like,
that
Thor
everyone should
Ragnarok,
hold.
like-
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy is pretty good.
I didn't mean to take away from Mitch.
I mean, this goes back to Thomas being the ultimate critic.
I hate.
Yeah.
I hate everything. Usually, I have to put my own opinion on it. Like I can't. Like if people
You can't let someone else make their own airplane.
like in the world, yeah, it's hell yeah, man. But like if they were good at if they knew how to make paper airplanes, they wouldn't care what I said. You know,
There you go, there you go.
I don't know, man.
Inception, Interstellar.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. Like, you know, like there's like I would like to meet the guy that got Fight Club the first time around. You know,
Yeah.
so I understand
Those movies take me
there are some mental
million
kickflip
times.
movies, you know, but
I
like,
just check out.
one of those that got me was that Mother movie with Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I was like, oh, this is like the creation of the world. You know, like I was just like, it's like, damn, she's fucking crazy. You know, no, this is a bigger meaning though.
She like came out and said, "I will never do anything like that."
Yeah,
ever
dude,
again."
it kind of messed me up a little bit. You know, How funny is it we can just like turn movies on our TV and just be like fucked up by them forever?
2 hours of our life, just like, oh damn.
Well, yeah, and also
Why am
we're
I
just
here?
inundated with so much new shit this day. You have to have discretion and have an opinion. Otherwise, you're just going to get suckered into whatever marketing campaign's pushing something down your throat. Like, did you see that new series on Apple TV? Yeah, another one came out last week, and then the one before that, the one came out. I give it like an 8
Ted
month.
Lasso shrinking in the studio.
Yeah, I give it like a
Bangers.
9-month buffer, and if people still talk about it 9 months
Right.
later, then I will start it.
I love that rule. I
Yeah.
love that rule.
Did you watch Severance?
Yeah, I watched the first season of Severance. I liked it.
You haven't watched second?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you should watch season
I haven't
2.
watched a lot of TV lately, man.
You've been
I need to
busy.
get back in.
Yeah, been
Speaking of
I
being
have been
busy,
Yeah, I have been busy.
you've recently had some. I'm going to take it back to music.
Yeah, dude.
But
yeah.
you've recently had a couple live shows, like you did the Key West Songwriter Fest. This is
Yeah.
your third year.
Yeah,
Second,
that's
third
Key
year.
West. Third year, I played the big stage there for like we did an acoustic set for like 7,000, dude.
Videos looked awesome.
Yeah, it looked
was
awesome.
sick,
Wow.
dude. It was. We played all originals too, and that's usually like taboo in that environment. But like the Key West Songwriter Fest, the people that are there it's the best fans because they're there for a songwriting fest. It's not like, you know, they're sitting there listening to the words. You know, usually people would just
Right.
get drunk at festivals, you know, and have a good time. But then we played Tortuga. We played Carolina Country Music Festival last week.
Hey.
Is
And then-
Tortuga where you wore the Kenny Powers?
No, that was Carolina
Okay.
Country because it was
Come on,
Myrtle
Myrtle
Beach,
Beach.
dude. It was
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
There were scenes.
That was a perfect play.
Dude, it was people were screaming Kenny Powers lines at me. It was so, I had to like keep composure while I was singing. It was
Broke my
so, and
nose.
it rained. It poured rain the whole day, dude. Like, and the festival was delayed. But like we just sat on the stage. We're just like waiting. It's like horses in a corral for like the lightning delays to stop, and people came in and. We started playing there, and then we played like 30 seconds of a song. We're getting rocking, and of course, you know, I'm a new guy, so I'm on the B stage, and then Colt Ford is across this huge park, and he starts, and the stage guy comes on and goes, "We gotta stop! Colt Ford's going on!" So then we stopped, and then we just waited, and then we just started again. But it was just funny because there's two stages, and they're so far away from each other because you can't hear each other. But then as soon as we started, I was just screaming, "We're over here! Come back! We're over here!" Because it was such a weird day because it was rained out all day. But yeah, dude, we've been playing shows, man. I got a band of 4 guys, and 2 of them are from East Tennessee, and we're playing Sunday. We leave for Wildwood Country Festival in New Jersey.
Oh, that'll be sick.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
I've been to that one before. That's
Really?
a good time.
Oh yeah,
Is that the one on the beach?
yeah. So it's funny. I've only played festivals on the beach.
Yeah.
Keep it that way.
Yeah, I know,
Don't
Seem
dude.
like a bad
Keep
kid.
it that
great,
way.
dude.
Buffett, love
What
it.
are
It's
those
right.
nerves like? Like, you know, you do a lot of. I mean, you started doing music and putting it out on the internet, COVID-ish, and then you know you're in the studio, and then you're getting in front of these large crowds with a band. Are there times when you're like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit? Or are you like, this is
Dude,
awesome?
It's awesome. Like, and that's it's the best. It's the icing on the cake for everything that I've worked for. You know, like it's the opposite of what you would think about nerves. Like, I get nerves sitting around here not playing music. You know, like if I'm sitting in my house and just like idly sitting around, I'm like, what's going on? You know, and it's because of how I grew up. Like if there's anything, there's at my house right now, if my mom and dad are there, someone is playing music. My dad's playing fiddle or. Dude, like the other day, like I grew up with that. Like the other day, my dad sent me this. Like, here's your grandma singing in her band in high school, and I'll send you guys this song. It's so beautiful. It's like 60s, just like shit like that. So like I grew up around like that, like where music was just played all the time, no matter what it was. And I never played less music than when I came here to Nashville. You know,
That's
like
wild.
I spent, you know, of course that's part of it. You know, especially at the beginning is. You know, taking the approach that I'm doing, you know, there's a lot of ways to skin the cat in music world. Like you can stand in a forest with an SM7 microphone and sing a bunch and be on the presidential debate in 2 weeks.
Come on.
Or I mean, that's one way to skin the cat. Or you can come here, you write the songs and you network with this town. That's what I love about this town is there's 1,000 people here that are absolutely phenomenal songwriters. There's songs that will never be heard that you only can hear just through being in this city. And that's kind of my approach to like, you know, of being here is like, just, I get to wake up and go write songs with these people that I'd never met. And, you know, it's like I never look people up, but like now I'm to the point where like I walk out of there and it's like, oh, this guy wrote Live Like You Were Dying.
Yeah, right.
You know, like,
This guy shaped my childhood,
yeah,
actually.
it's right. And it's like, you just think about all those songs, man, and that's just kind of like the little race you're stretching for, is trying to get one of those. But yeah, playing shows has been awesome, man. It's the icing on the cake, man. And that's kind of what I want to do, is hang my hat on that, because longevity in music comes from playing live shows. And right now, the public view of what success is in music is so skewed, and it's people that just have routine shows, people that are playing and growing a fan base and showing up for the fan base and delivering their songs. That's the ones that grow and over time grow. And that's the approach that I'm taking, is we don't want to gas fire, man. We want to be 1% better, man, and that's what we're trying to do, playing great shows.
Dude, I feel like the dream show at some point has to be you bring your mom and dad up.
Oh, absolutely, dude. Also, I just put them on the record, I just recorded. Yeah, I just recorded 5 songs with Warner and with Dave Cohen producing. We went to Blackbird Studios, Studio D, where one of the most legendary places in music. And I had some of the best players on there too, man. But my parents have such a pure relationship with music that they don't even care about anyone knowing that they play music.
Right.
And I just kind of took that on myself to be like, you know what? I care. So I got them to come down here, and I got my mom to sing harmony background vocals on one of my records. That way she can be in this fancy official Warner Music database as a background singer. Because, it's cool. Just giving back to the people that taught me everything I knew about music. And we're going to get my dad down here to do some fiddle passes on some stuff too. But yeah, man, they're going to be up there eventually, probably way sooner than I should, honestly. My mom sang with me that night at Acme.
Mm-hmm.
That was
awesome. That was cool.
Changing gears a little. Wait, do you have a question about music? Yeah, go ahead.
You mentioned like working here in Nashville, and like obviously everybody knows this is like the country music capital of whatever. Like I'm so
of
curious.
The world.
Yeah.
Of the world.
I'm so
ladies
curious. I'm so curious to hear. Like, because I follow like these, like a couple people that are local to here that are just like on social media that have big social media followings, but you don't really see them. Like what that world is like as an up and comer with other up and comers coming as well. Is it like a dog eat dog world? Or you like, I'm trying to like scratch your back, you scratch mine kind of thing?
Yeah, I think, and that's how good and I just learned through great influences that the people that last in this business are good people. Like, it's just like that you get weeded out so quickly that the era of hard to deal with rock star is over with the overexposure of the internet. Like, it's all about treating people right. But no, there's no, I think for people that are insecure in their artistry, there's a lot of looking left and right and seeing what's going on. But I don't really care what anyone else does. If they're successful, I'm happy for them. This is a hard world to be successful in. And also there is no finite pieces of cake to be eaten. Everyone can get fed. Like, it's just all about differentiating yourself. And I love cheering people on, man. Like a couple of my close buddies, Dalton Davis and Jake Hess. We all met each other. Oh, they're the dogs, man.
Dogs.
Dalton just signed a record deal too the other day, and a big one.
He's been putting out some awesome stuff.
Yeah, man, he's killer, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dalton. And Jake Hess, dude, he's from one of the most iconic gospel families. Has one of the most pure voices, and also soul. His relationship with music is like, that's, if you want to know what's going to take an artist a long way, independent of me, it's just figure out why they like music, and that'll just tell you how long they're going to be able to play music. Yeah. A lot of the problem is we used to make talented people famous in music. It'd be a guy, from the back in the day, like a guy'd come to the record label, knock on the door and say, I got a bunch of tapes. You believe in me, come on, listen to these. They're great. I got a vision. And, flash forward to now, we try to make famous people talented. We try to get people that already have a pre-existing following for whatever reason, it doesn't matter, and then we square peg a round hole and put music into these people's hands, and then they fizzle out because their relationship with music is not genuine, and that's but yeah, it's never comparison. I just like cheering everybody on. I think I think there's different ways to do it in this business, and everyone can have success in whatever way they want.
There's got to be more of that in the music world.
This isn't a question. This is just for the Bussin' fans out there, because we have a lot of the tier ones. I wish I would have said it off the top. Thomas is the voice on the S&P 500 intro.
Oh, yeah.
That's how Thomas fits into the Bussin' lore, outside of being Jack and Garrett's longtime friends. But
dude, that's crazy. I forgot about that.
That was epic.
Dude,
I do.
the funny thing is, dude, like I've been in here over the years, and it's just so sick to see. It's just so sick to see the phases of this place, dude. Like even when I was in here like a month and a half ago, like none of this renovation stuff was going. Like,
well, dude, I think it's cool that y'all saw a friend group. It's like a couple years ago, I guess when Josh Dobbs went down there. Obviously, Josh, NFL quarterback, he's making vlogs down at your show. Yeah. Your music career is taking off. Jack is doing his thing in this world. Garrett's doing his thing in this space, and it's like, but y'all all started, as just kind of
we're
in
just
the beginning
delusional in the kitchen
yeah.
saying we want to do something different. It's 3 a.m. We're just drunk.
Yeah.
We're just like, you know what, man? I can't do this anymore.
And then Big Chevy's coming up next.
Yeah, that's right, dude. We're it's 3 a.m. in the kitchen every weekend. We're just like, you know what? We're quitting this week, man.
Yeah.
We're doing what we want. And then Tuesday rolls around, and
Back
you're
to
just
the
like,
mines.
back to the coal mines,
to the
dude.
mines.
Back to the coal.
Well, bringing up Josh Dobbs, yeah, because Tom also has made an appearance on Bussin' With The Boys when Josh Dobbs
Yeah.
came on. Tom came, sat at the back, and who else was it? Was it Josh
Malone.
Yeah,
that was a
Malone.
funny day,
Which
dude.
is
That was
funny.
a funny day.
But just I want, this is one of my favorite
Titans
stories about your
legend,
football
Josh
career at
Dobbs.
Tennessee, because you mentioned how like you didn't play a ton, but there was a
I
time.
want this story too.
There was a time when you got called up to play versus Kentucky, and I'd like you to just walk all the viewers through exactly what happened from start to finish. Let's say it's Friday afternoon, and go.
This story.
So the biggest thing about college football that you don't realize is like the people that aren't the starters or like the fringe guys before the night of the game. You just kind of meet the team on Saturday at the game. So like it's one of the most like walk of shames ever. It's like the vol walk starts and you're just like walking in, like you like merge into the vol walk.
So you're just getting there.
So yeah, it's like so Friday night before the Kentucky game, like I'm not traveling with the team. And 2 years of my career, I was a second string like contributor. I downplay that. Like I was traveling to away games. Like if someone got hurt, I went in. But that didn't happen often. I often just rode the bus and ate the steak and went home. And but it was a home game. We played Kentucky, man, and I had my ex-girlfriend at the time. She had a sorority formal the night before, and we got absolutely plowed drunk, like thrown out of the. She fell down the stairs at this place.
Right, she fell.
Yeah, I did. God. She fell down the stairs. But it was like this, like, you know how it is, like the sorority like world is like so cutthroat. They're like, they went to the council and they were like, you have committed public intoxication. You will be shamed. Like they're just, but like,
Shame.
But like it was just like the talk of the sorority too. Like so and I was, if I'm an athlete, I'm a little more sure-footed. But I probably would have fallen down the stairs. I was that drunk too. And then I woke up, we're up all night, went to bed at 4 or 5 in the morning. We're in college, and the game is at like 2 or 3 p.m. So we got to be at the Vol Walk at like 10:30. So I wake up in my house and I am so hungover, dude, and I'm just like in an absolute pit. Like I have to wear a suit for the Vol Walk. It's still crumbled up in a ball in my travel bag, just in the corner of my room. I throw it on, wrinkles and all, get chastised for it later, and then grab a can of Coke and 2 strawberry Pop-Tarts out of my house, and then just go park my car and then just merge into the Vol Walk, thinking that I was just going to not play the whole day, just having a good time in that like fugue hungover state where everything is like funny. I'm like, oh, this is hilarious, dude. So then flash forward to the game, dude. Like I was smoking those snacks in there, dude. I was eating like Rice Krispie treats too. Like as soon as I got to the thing, it's just like it was not preparing myself, and we start beating the shit out of Kentucky, and the second half comes around, and like the starters do one drive, and then out of nowhere I hear Coach Mahoney saying, "Thomas Edwards, where are you at?" And I strap up and I play the rest of the game. And do you know who I was blocking? And you know what play we just love to run? A counter, and I was the right guard. And you guess who the opposite defensive end was? Bud Dupree.
And they're playing pissed off.
Yeah, dude, they're down, dude. And dude, the funniest thing is my roommate now, one of our best friends, Jack Jones, he was playing right tackle. And Jack's job the whole time was to do a seal and hinge, which is where you just take one step down and you just open your hips up 90 degrees and make sure nobody comes. You know, it's one of the best roles on the line when you get that job. But every time we encountered 3 plays in a row, and I was dying. And every time I get back to the huddle, Jack just made it worse, dude. He was just cracking up, laughing at me because he knew everything. He knew what I was doing. And the funniest thing is, like, I was like boasting to my teammates. I was like, "Yeah, I went out drunk last night," you know. And it's just like, but honestly, I played well. I remember, like in the Monday team meeting, they had like the little highlights of like plays of the game, and when it's a game like that, the majority of the highlights are just like backup highlights, morale boosters. Right. You're like, we love to see your effort here. You know, I had one of those on that
Let's
highlight.
go.
Come on. Dude, but
Bud Dupree, that is so
as
funny.
the game's going on and y'all are starting to pull away, is it registering it all in your head? You might go in, or you're just fully enjoying it. Like,
fully enjoy, because at this point,
I have the shoulder pads on. It's like, dude, this game rules.
Yeah,
like,
we're about 40.
Helmet on the
Just
bench.
unclipped.
Dude, I was civilian level stretched to go play. Like, I hadn't warmed up since I half-assed did the warm-up at the beginning of the game an hour and a half earlier. Like, no little leg kicks on the sideline. I just ran in. And then dude, there's so many times like that. Another time we played Kentucky away, and like we were winning again, and then we always beat Kentucky. The little brother. We're winning by a lot, and our O-line coach says, "All right, these are the next 5 O-linemen that are going in. Names 5 people. I'm not one of them." So I'm like, "All right, sweet, bet." You know, perfect. Like, Kroger Field's a nice time. It's a nice time of year. You know, just watch some football. You know, see if my buddies can get it done. You know. So then they're in the huddle. They're about to go out on the field, and then all of a sudden I hear Coach Jones going, "Thomas Edwards! Thomas Edwards!" And just screaming, dude. It's silent in there. Like, people in the crowd are like, "What's going on?
Who is Thomas Edwards?
Who is this guy?" It's like, he must be really needed at this game. But then he just looks at me, grabs my helmet, and goes, "Do you even want to fucking play? Do you even want to play?" Even after the O-line coach deliberately 5 minutes prior to that was like, "Here are the 5 people that are going in." But it's just so funny, man. There's never like when you go in when you're winning a lot in a game, you're never prepared to go, even if you think you are, because you're standing around just looking,
Right.
you know.
Fuck that shit.
dude.
It's one of my favorite stories. Just off a can of Coca-Cola and 2 Pop-Tarts. SEC
a couple bites of
football.
Krispy Treat.
Civilian level stretch.
Yeah, dude, it's right. We're lifting the veil here on the back of the bus.
Heck yeah, dude.
Well, I guess now that we're talking some snacks, unless you have another football question, because I want to start a new segment. We did it. We won't say the guest because we have someone next week as well now. But Thomas, I know you're a sandwich connoisseur.
Oh man,
I would like you to describe your perfect sandwich.
let's just get a really 2-second moment of silence for how great sandwiches are.
Take that hat off.
Also,
Thank you.
I did see your post.
About Publix, dude.
Yeah, so feel free to talk about that if you want.
Yeah, man. I think sandwiches, man. I think they're the most important part of American culture. Really, the worldwide culture. I think I'm not well versed. That's not the worldwide sandwich impact. It's not an issue I'm willing to lend my voice to. But here locally in America, I love a good sandwich, man. I think they're situational though, man. I think the cool thing is though they're so interchangeable. Every element of them can be replaced and removed. It's like what's it called? It's like a Lego set, you know. That's the wrong analogy I was looking for, but like, you buy the Millennium Falcon Lego set, you can rearrange it and make it look like something else. That's what a sandwich is, you know. Like if you're like, there's different ways to eat sandwiches and places to eat sandwiches. I had a pub sub yesterday. I get one a week. I usually get the special, but I just think it's just a great, especially like to me, it's all about the experience. I love going to talk to the person that's slicing open the bread. I get to look at the meat selection and go, it looks like you guys just cut that today. Let's put that on there. And then the cheese, all the way down. And Publix really gets that done for me, in the sandwich world. But I just think there are unsung heroes, man. I mean, everything's a sandwich. That whole debate, like it's just a deconstructed sandwich. I don't like how people treat them as a lunch item. Mm-hmm. I think that's slanderous for the value they provide. But I mean, I could talk forever about them. I mean, the white bread sandwich on the beach, y'all all did the collective like we're at a church. Yeah, it's right. But yeah, no, like that's a situational sandwich. But if I'm in a bodega in New York, like I'm getting a different sandwich there, man. Like the sandwich is less about the food and it's more about glorifying the situation that you're in. And
It's like the movie Soul.
It's honestly it's like Paper Airplane.
25 sandwiches.
It's an art form, man. I love sandwiches, man. I'll talk forever about them. I go to Publix once a week. Last night I went to Publix and my heart was ripped out from underneath me because they made the special a wrap. And the specials don't need to be a wrap. I mean, like the fact that it's like advertised as $5.
And what happened to the options?
Yeah, I mean, there used to be 2 specials, but also they kind of go crazy with like they've been doing like these cranberry turkey sandwiches at Publix.
That sounds fire though.
You're crazy, dude. It's like stuffing and
We'll get
It's like a
Mitch's favorite
Thanksgiving
sandwich.
yeah,
In June.
dude, they do it
It's a
all year
cornucopia.
round. It's crazy as hell, dude. I love sandwiches, man. I think I don't get enough love.
Can you name your favorite sandwich spot in Nashville or a few outside of Publix?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, like I said, man, I think it's all I eat like a dog, man. I stall for fuel and I get chicken tender pub subs. Yeah. But I like you introduced me to the Fat Belly pretzel place.
Special place. Vibes all the time in there too.
Dude,
Speaking of a situation,
the
it's like
best,
when you go in there, you're not
exactly.
just buying a sandwich. It's an experience in there.
Yeah, it's
Where's
like
this
that.
at?
The
It's
staff
in
is
East.
incredible.
Yeah,
they're
it's all,
great, dude.
staff's
They
awesome.
They ask your name and they're like,
Yeah.
"How you been doing, man?" I'm like, "How much time you got, dude? I got so much shit to get off my chest, you know." But they'll kick you out after a while. No, I go in there. I like their muffaletta. It's really good. They also have a good. Also, the Rachel Green from Bills is great.
Yeah,
you know,
fantastic.
we finally formalized the placing chips onto the sandwich as a menu item. You know, I think that was a huge step for us as people.
What about the Little Hats truffle and ham?
I've never been to Little Hat.
I could see Little Hats being somewhere Thomas just publicly slanders
But
just
I
because the
have a-
public loves it.
Oh, yeah. I also have a huge problem with restaurants in Nashville that open up 200-person dining halls and have 6 parking spots.
Yeah.
So
Well,
That is fair.
I refuse to go there. I mean, like that's like part of the experience. We're not in Manhattan. We open restaurants in here like it's the Big Apple, you know. But like people are driving to get there, you know. And if you take a scooter, you're gonna get hit by somebody. That's too soon.
We were literally at Federale's this
Cut that
bar
out.
like a month ago, and Tom drives there and he goes, "There's no fucking parking. I'm driving home."
I did
Drove
that.
home, didn't see him. The rest
I
of the
did
day.
that.
It is awesome.
Bro, I'm
Federale's
about that
good.
action.
I
dude.
did that same thing.
I'm about that, dude. Like, I mean, like, what do you mean? There's no parking here. This is. I could have 100
'em, bro.
people in here. You know.
Just park in the
What?
apartment.
Pay $20 to
They're
a
not
guy
gonna
that.
get. Brooke lives there. I park there all the time and don't have to pay.
See, but like that's tribal knowledge. We shouldn't have to operate like that.
That is fair.
What's your death row sandwich? Like,
Sandwich to save the world. You got to make it.
yes.
Well, sandwiches aren't saving the
if
world. They're a
aliens
food
came
item.
down and you had
The-
one sandwich to save
Thomas
the
is
world,
back.
Quote grab it.
What if it could though?
Quote grab.
What if you could give a sandwich to the fucking president of Iran right now and it would stop? It would be a fucking ceasefire.
I wouldn't do that because sandwiches aren't made for that, Jack.
It's a bad idea.
Yeah, that's probably not what we need to do here. Death row sandwich. I'm definitely gonna go. I'm gonna get the ladies that work at the Publix in East Nashville. I love them so much. They take their job so seriously. They ask me how I'm doing all the time. They're heavy handed on their pours of ranch and mayonnaise and spicy mustard and occasionally now the gourmet Dijonnaise. I would get them to prepare it and I would ask them to bring the little heater that they use there because I swear that one just gets it right. And if the jail would allow these 3 lovely women to come in, I would go with that Publix sandwich just because not necessarily the sandwich. It's just about the memories I had with those people as they made it.
Wait, but what's on it?
It's irrelevant
Just
to
3
me.
women.
No, it's not.
I mean, I love
I
that.
am the sandwich.
Yeah. It's kind of like Paper Airplane. I'll probably get a Boar's Head Italian or Boar's Head Ultimate. Sorry, because I like the roast beef in there too. And then I'm throwing Chipotle Gouda cheese. If it's freshly cut, I can tell just by how it looks. I ask them if,
How it's resting.
yeah, I'd say hold one slice up for me, please. You got to notice the bend. That's how long it's been cut. If it's floppy, it's good. Then I'm going So I'm going ultimate Chipotle Gouda cheese. Then I'm going to get it toasted. Actually, mayonnaise and spicy mustard comes first on the sandwich. I pre-toast. I used to be a hater on that, but it makes a difference. Then I throw it in the toaster. Then I'll go with spinach, lettuce, 2 tomato slices, garlic pickles, French onion straws, and a little dash of salt, pepper, and oregano, and then some deli dressing. But that's if I had to pick.
It's not really about that for me.
Twist my arm. God forbid. After all this talk, I feel like it'd be essential as a bonus intern project if we had them
go get the Thomas Edwards.
Yes, or go with Thomas and watch him order.
Yeah, it's right. It for sure, dude. And today it's Wednesday. I can't date the episode. Sorry, bad form. It
comes out tomorrow. It's Thursday.
It's a day of the week, and the specials reset today, so we can go check. We can check if they righted their wrongs about putting a wrap as the special.
Yeah, where did they do?
Yeah.
Are you hell bent on going to the one in East, or would you go to the one in 8th?
No, you got to go to the one in East. Like I went to one in Brentwood, and there's just high school kids working there, and they don't give a shit about you or your sandwich. They're just trying to get out of there and smoke
Thomas
weed in the
just
parking lot.
had a problem with driving places. He's going to go across the street in East.
Just imagine a 16-year-old. Hey, can you hold up the Gouda? Why?
Like, that's sus, bro.
Yeah. L's in the chat for this guy.
Chat,
We're
what does this
live
guy
right
think? Yeah, trying to get a thumbs up and Brentwood and got clowned by chat.
Dude, that's funny.
Chad.
All right, we've gone for 55 minutes so far. Do we need to talk about the reason Thomas is here?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm here because I'm beginning the journey of releasing music with my record deal. It's starting next month, man.
Let's go.
Yeah. Thank you. We're starting with a song called "Drunk Enough." It's such a fun song, dude. I'm talking half the song. It reminds me of like a Shel Silverstein poem, just like poorly written because I wrote it. But I wanted to capture something that captured my personality, man. I think I've written a lot of songs that are good songs, but it's just like when you push the ship off the shore, you want people to know what they're getting into. So I wanted to make sure that I had some things that highlight my voice and things that highlight my personality and just welcome people to the world of Thomas that releases music, because it's been the 2 years since I released something, and now it's the funny thing, I said this the other day, I was like, I'm the most excited I've ever been to release music, and I said when we released the last things, I had no clue what was going on. Now I still have no clue what was going on, but I'm okay with it, and I think that's the only thing it's going to be, and that's kind of true for everything, man. Let it fly, throw the paper airplane, man. And I think that's one of the regrets that I already have in my life is I should have been letting them fly earlier. I made a bunch of paper airplanes and sat them in my closet, and I realized I didn't even throw them because I didn't even care that much, and you got to throw them, and this is where I'm starting to throw them. So the Drunk Enough is just a fun song about it's really about a girl, man. It's a personal story, an actual story of my life, but you have to listen to the song, man. It's got some layers to it, man. Maybe you'll have to listen to it 5 times.
Hopefully they do. Hopefully they do listen to it more than once.
Great callback episode.
Dude, I'm the king of the callback, man.
Really
I understand comedy. I get it. I get it, y'all. But yeah, it comes out next month, and then we're going to start to release. We just cut some more songs after that. So after that one, we're going to be releasing, and then going back in to cut a whole record, probably to get it out there sometime in the future. I don't know when that timetable is. Probably this year sometime. But we're off to the races, man. They gave me the keys, and they're letting me drive the ship, and we're making a lot of great music and treating people right along the way, and that's what we plan on doing the whole time. And I'm stoked to share it with the world, so people don't think I'm crazy and lying anymore.
Hell yeah.
Let me drive the boat.
I know you got a bunch of dates lined up here in the future outside of Nashville. Is there any place in Nashville, in the next 6 months or so, that any tier ones that are locked down?
Oh,
we
yeah.
can
Home
host,
address,
a back of the bus viewing party.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I think
Where do you live?
Where do I live?
Yeah, exact address.
My address is 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington, D.C. I'm the next president. I need to stop these politically charged statements.
What do you think about the president?
No, I live in East Nashville, though, man. I've been there for a couple years, man, 4 or 5 years. Been renting, just burning money. It's fun, man. It's like the episode of SpongeBob when they make the pretty patties. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Mr. Krabs is like, what are you guys doing with all the money? And he goes like, well, at first we tried burying it. And then we tried burning it. And then we just had too much, so we just started giving it away. Yeah, I don't even know why I brought that up, but I live in East Nashville.
Is there a time where we can come catch you at a show?
Oh, not around here as of now, but I'm probably as this first song comes out late July, I'll do a showcase.
Yeah.
To kind of get the guys that have been playing with me in the band to do a show here, and then that'll probably be end of the summer, I would think.
Cool. We'll post on the social pages, all 900 of our followers.
Let's go,
and then we'll obviously collab on the Bussin account, get that 500,000 plus audience.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna get everyone here on the back of the bus, as long as everyone's in town. We're gonna show out.
Oh no!
So that's the interns. They won't be invited to the show.
Yeah, that's right. You heard that.
But dude, no, seriously, so fucking awesome. Just like to know you as a best friend and like see all your success, and to get you to come on to like our like little funny show that we started. And I feel like we're starting to get a groove too, like for us specifically in this show, which is fun. And this episode, I feel like, is a lot of confidence for everyone, where it's like we've been just kind of bouncing off. Coop's been talking the whole time. Like,
I will say, I've been in spectator mode for this whole thing, but this has been an awesome interview. Like,
Coop was this close to not talking for another episode.
I know. One day.
One day.
Every bar you had, Coop would just go. Oh.
I just look over at him. I'm like, yeah.
I was fired up the whole time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Shoot you. I love being here, man. It's awesome to see y'all's journey, man. I've told you 2 years drunk in the kitchen, like, when are you gonna get on the other side of the camera, dude? Like, you're too funny to not let people know that you're funny, man. And both of y'all, I mean, I think it also, it's 10,000 hours though. Like, think about where you are now to start this show versus where if you started it 4 years ago.
Oh my god.
Oh, like, you guys like know when things screw
we have
up.
turf in here, man.
Yeah, come on, dude. We understand we understand the health implications of standing on hard concrete.
Would you probably don't want to play your new song, wait till that releases. Would you want to play one song for the audience, just to give them a taste?
Sure.
Hey, interns!
My guitar's down there.
Yeah, we're gonna bring it up because
Let's get that tape job too.
Yeah, I got you.
While he's tuning the guitar, we have an intro for Bussin' With The Boys. We need an intro for this show, Back of the Bus.
Honestly, you should write.
I'm not saying that.
We'll pay you nothing.
Yeah. That's what I was getting at.
The pretty patties.
Dude, they're pretty
It could literally be 15-second jingle.
Oh yeah,
Bro, well, I mean, that was one of the best callbacks
let
ever.
me do some source. I got to see what you guys are about a little better. I mean, I know what
You're
you're
good.
about, you know what I'm saying? Your presence.
Yeah, you are good.
Welcome to the back of the bus. Yeah. I wrote this song a couple weeks ago. It's this is so awesome. This is awesome. This is gonna be this is gonna be an awesome clip of us like this. I wrote the song a couple weeks ago with my buddy Bob DePiro and Ryan. A lot of people, when you get to a certain point in music, they just try to ask you to change everything that got you there. And that's what I'm saying about being different, you know? So we wrote a song about people trying to change me, even though it's worked, the shit that I've been doing, you know?
I don't know if we should have all the mics here. That might not sound the best.
Let me drink
Yeah, I mean, should we maybe even turn down all the mics? But we'll just be quiet.
I can do that.
We'll just be quiet.
Demon home.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. There ain't no changing me no more until I find the change I was looking for. Don't matter what comes through that door, there ain't no changing me no more. I met a girl, thought that she was golden, until she told me to fold the hand I was holding. Those were the last words that were spoken to me. Why should I fix what is not broken? Ain't no changing me no more till I find the change I was looking for. Don't matter what comes through that door. Ain't no changing me no more. A music guy told me to change some stuff about me too. So I wrote this one. A big wig told me I could sing. He said, first we gotta fix a couple things. My hair, my beard, I dress too weird. I need some showbiz clothes. And I said, sorry, buddy, that's not how this story goes. Ain't no changing me no more. Till I find the change I was looking for. Don't matter what comes through that door, 'cause there ain't no changing me no more. Yeah.
Let's go. That was awesome.
That was really cool.
These mics are not auto-tuned either. That was all real.
Yeah, that's right, dude. It's all auto-tune. Everything is processed and fake. It's all AI. Yeah, edit when I start talking after.
Now that was sick.
That was
Tom,
awesome, dude.
we're starting with our guests. They do our outro. So if you want to play a little lick and then be like, sub to the channels, sub to whatever. Yeah, just let it fly.
And thanks for coming on Back of the Bus.
Hello, everyone. I'm Thomas Edwards, guest today on the Back of the Bus. Thank you all for joining us. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, love each other. Tip your waitresses, shred the veal.
Throw the paper airplane.
Throw the paper airplane.
Dude,
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Buy the cruise boat. Watch Soul.
Let's go. That was sick.
That was awesome.
Awesome.